Hey, American contractors, viewers of the American Contractor Show. I'm here with John Dye at Win the Storm, and I have to tell you, anyone that is associated with American Contractor Show, you are a badass.
Big shout out to American Contractor Show. If you don't know, you definitely need to check out the Storm Summit. They're doing it in excellence. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? This is your friend, Francisco Serrano. If you haven't checked it out, American Contractor Show, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms, you need to go them, like them, start learning about your craft.
Hey, I'm Matt Danskin with Restoration Referral System. Check out the American Contractor Show. The truck that they've got is awesome. Everything else that they have going on.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the for changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I, as a contractor, appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor who's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
And good afternoon, everyone. My name is meteorologist Heather Kay. Happy Thursday. It's time for our daily hail forecast. We got to thank our sponsors first, though. We have the C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, as well as American Contractor. Thank you guys, as always, for sponsoring our video. So let's talk about our headlines for today. Once again, we have another chance to see large hail in the northern plains. We're crossing our fingers. Hopefully maybe Rapid City will get their first major storm of the year. So we'll talk about that in more detail in just a second. And then tomorrow, it's really going to be the beginning of the hail chances pretty much dropping to very low to almost nothing. So we'll talk about tomorrow's very marginal hail risk. And then we'll take a look at the tropics. There was a small area of potential development. We'll see if that is still going on as well. So before we get into the forecast, there are a few events that we are going to be present at. The first one is in the a week and a half or so from now. This is the 2021 Texas Roofing Conference in San Antonio from the 16th to the 18th. So go and if you haven't already, I don't know if you can still sign up for that or not, but we'll be there for that. And then later on in this month, so near the end of the month, this is on a Friday, just down the road from us in Moore, Oklahoma on the 25th. This is the Burgers and Bikes at Fort Thunder Harley Davidson. So if you're interested in this event, all the information for these events are on our Facebook page, so if you're interested in this, go and sign up for that. And then this isn't until September, but this is another pretty cool event. This is the Thunder Road Race for Recovery. This is going to be on September 15th in Norman. So again, if you're interested in any of these, just want to learn more about what these events are, they're on our Facebook page. So let's take a look at our current satellite and also our temperatures. Pretty quiet right now in terms of severe weather. We had some activity earlier this morning, nothing severe, just heavier thunderstorms. Otherwise, just some showery activity in the eastern part of the country, quiet in the central plains, and this is going to be the main area that we're going to be watching this afternoon and evening and also into the overnight hours. Quiet there as of right now. Let's zoom in a little bit. Again, just some higher clouds up in the northern parts of North Dakota. Otherwise, pretty quiet. There were a few showers earlier in parts of Nebraska. And then we're going to jump down to this area of shower and thunderstorm activity that was going on this morning from Arkansas down into just north of Jackson. You're about to get a little bit wet within the next few minutes. So this is another area that we'll be keeping an eye on for some marginal severe weather potential this afternoon. But again, the northern plains activity is what we're going to be focusing on. First though, let's take a look at the temperatures. It's 80 in Atlanta, 88 in Miami, 91 in Houston. So we're pretty warm across most of the U.S. If you want to get a little bit cooler, you have to go very far to the west to California. It's only 66 in Los Angeles right now and 60 in Portland. The dew points though are extremely uncomfortable for most of us. So it's not only warm, it's also extremely humid. We have a 73-degree dew point in Dallas, 72 in New Orleans, and Wichita you're sitting at 75. So once you get into those mid-60s and higher in terms of dew point, it starts to feel extremely uncomfortable and sticky and just heaviness in the air. So we're definitely not lacking moisture. So let's take a look at our instability for this afternoon and evening. You can see we're also not going to be lacking in terms of instability. This is basically right now. A lot of instability is in place as we get into the next few hours. Instability will continue to build from basically Nebraska northward into the Dakotas and into far eastern Montana. Getting into later on into the evening, that instability will still be there, so it will still continue to support those thunderstorms that are expected to continue into the overnight hours. And then as we get into after midnight and into the overnight hours, it'll still be there. It'll start to drop off a little bit. So let's take a look at our future radar first in the northern plains. Again, it looks like it's going to be relatively quiet except for some showers from Great Falls westward. But then as we get later on into the afternoon, you can see some thunderstorm development is expected to start up around 6:30 from North Dakota westward into Montana. And then as we start to get later on into the evening, as the sun goes down, it looks like some more robust activity is possible. I think the largest hail, as I'll show you in the graphic that I made, this is going to be the area where the largest hail will be possible. However, as we get into 10, 11 p.m., some more thunderstorm development is possible. Rapid City, we have to keep an eye on you. I know it doesn't look like a whole lot on this particular model, but it's one model, one run, you know, and again, these are models. It just gives us an idea. So a lot of things can be, yeah, it's a model. So as we get into later on into the evening and overnight hours, it looks like any supercells that do develop will form into a line. So I think Bismarck down south into central South Dakota into central Nebraska. This will become more of a wind threat, although this tail end Charlie here, this could be a large hail producer. We always have to watch those tail end Charlies. And then as we get near sunrise, that activity will continue to move on to the east. So again, I think this will be mostly a wind threat, although some marginally severe hail, maybe up to $half size hail is possible. Now let's take a look just very quickly at the southern risk again. Showers and thunderstorms are ongoing right now from Arkansas down into Mississippi and parts of Alabama. Some more thunderstorm development is expected to develop as we get into the afternoon. In the evening, this is at 4:30. You can see some new thunderstorm development is possible in this area. And then they'll continue to go on until about sunset, and then they'll start to die off. And yeah, basically, yeah, I don't think it's going to be anything in terms of severe weather once we get into the overnight, but some more thunderstorms are possible from Mississippi into Alabama. So here is our hail forecast. We do have a few areas that we're going to be watching. Let's go to the northern part first, as this is the largest event that we're going to be seeing for today. Large hail possible from Montana into the Dakotas southward to Nebraska. I think the largest hail will get up to baseball size, possibly from Glasgow eastward to parts of western North Dakota. Again, as it as this activity develops and moves to the east, I think Bismarck, you still have a chance to see up to golf ball size hail, but the wind chances will be increasing there as well. Rapid City, you have a high risk to see hail today. If the storms can stay isolated long enough, I think you can see up to 2.5-inch hail, and that chance of hail goes on to the south to North Platte. And then again, mentioned, the storms are expected to turn into a line, so the chances of hail will start to drop off pretty significantly as you move to the east, but there still is a low chance to see up to maybe quarter-half dollar size hail as we get into near the sunrise hours in Sioux Falls and Omaha. And there also is a small chance to see hail in the northern parts of Wisconsin and into the northern peninsula of Michigan. Nothing too substantial, maybe up to $half size. Rhinelander, you are the main city for that. And then lastly, there is a very, very, very low chance that a storm could develop from Midland and Odessa southward. But right now, a lot of the models are not really firing, but there is a chance that something could pop up. So let's take a look at the wind. I mentioned, after these storms line out, some pretty severe winds are expected to develop. I think 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible, maybe 80. It depends what these storms do from Bismarck, maybe Rapid City, but especially east of Rapid City down south to North Platte. This is the area that I think has the highest chance to see those severe winds. I think maybe 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible from Grand Forks down south to Sioux Falls. It really depends how those storms last through the overnight hours. And then again, Rhinelander, so northern Wisconsin, parts of the northern peninsula of Michigan, 60-mile-per-hour gusts are possible there. And then with that other risk down south in Arkansas and Mississippi, I think 60-mile-per-hour gusts, very small marginal chance for those gusts are possible in this region. And then again, if a storm can develop in Midland or Odessa, very low chance once again. There's a chance nothing will develop at all, but if something does, 60-mile-per-hour gusts are possible there. So no surprise, city of the day is Rapid City. Up to 2.5-inch hail is possible. I think there's a very high chance that hail will happen today. The chance of hail to see 1 inch or larger, I think, will be set at high. And the chance of hail being above a golf ball size is set at moderate. So we're going to be keeping an eye on you guys in Rapid City. Again, later this evening into the overnight, I think 9 p.m. to midnight is the best chance to see that large hail there. So this is for tomorrow. Again, a very marginal chance to see hail tomorrow, pretty much morning into the afternoon hours. This is at 2 p.m. Instability is there. I think that it's going to stay south of Minneapolis, but areas such as Des Moines and into Wisconsin will be watching you guys. That instability will be present, and then it'll still be around as we get into the afternoon and evening, and then we'll start to drop off as we get into the overnight hours. So this is tomorrow's future radar. Basically, the showers and storms will still be around from 7 a.m. in eastern South Dakota into Nebraska. Omaha, you may be waking up to some noisy storms. We get into noon, and they'll move on to the east. Omaha, you should be in the clear, but we have to keep an eye on Des Moines. And then as we get into later on in the afternoon, that activity will start to move on to the east, but we got on parts of Wisconsin as we could see some redevelopment for you guys in especially the northern part of the state. And then basically that is it for that. I think Chicago, you'll see some storms tomorrow, but as of right now, we're not expecting those storms to be severe. So sorry, maybe if we do some hail dances, we may get maybe something marginal, but as of right now, we're not expecting severe weather in Chicago. I think it's going to stay to your northwest. So, and then after tomorrow's event, Unfortunately, well, we'll get to that in just a second. It doesn't look very good. This is tomorrow's risk. Again, very marginal, up to $0.5 size hail from Sioux Falls down to Omaha. This will be earlier in the morning, 7, 8 a.m. It'll be moving on to the east. Des Moines, you'll have your chances anywhere from the morning hours to maybe noon or 1 a.m. And then after that, most of Wisconsin and just west of Chicago, you'll have your chances to see up to $0.5 size as well. And the wind area, same deal. I think up to 70-mile-per-hour gusts are possible in the western part of the risk. And then as we get into later on in the day, with those new storms, up to 68-mile-per-hour gusts will be possible with those storms. Again, same areas, Sioux Falls, Omaha in the early parts of the day. And then as we get into later on in the afternoon, Des Moines, eastward to Rhinelander and Madison, Wisconsin, you'll see those wind chances as well. So what's going to be going on after today and tomorrow? Well, unfortunately, it looks like the severe weather chances are going to be dropping off. And this is why we've been mentioning it. It was mentioned a few days ago. We're basically, this is called the death ridge. It's going to get very warm. The severe weather, again, is going to be turning off. You can see as I put this into motion, this is the first little system that we're going to be watching today into tomorrow. And then as we get into Saturday, you can see we really don't have any major systems. That little disturbance is in Canada, and that larger storm system is going to stay out in the Pacific, and we're going to be under high pressure. So it's going to be warm, it's going to be stable. We're not going to be seeing really any major chances for severe weather for the next few days. You can just see that pattern just sticks around. That jet stream is way up into Canada. So we're going to be, again, very warm. No chances of really major severe weather is in sight after tomorrow. And then, well, I'll show you in a second. We do have a very small chance to see some spotty severe weather, basically in very non-populated areas. Very south part of Colorado, and then the northeastern parts of New Mexico, you could see some spotty severe weather on Saturday. Besides that, though, after that, it's going to turn off. Now, lastly, let's take a look at the tropics. There was that little system that was in the Caribbean that we were watching, but unfortunately, you can see that little yellow blob has disappeared. We do not have any chances for any tropical development within the next 5 days. So we are quiet once again, which is typical. It is only June. We just started hurricane season. So yeah, the chances of development it's gone. So that's all I have for you today. Make sure that if you haven't already, that you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and or YouTube. And if you have any questions, concerns, or you just want to say hi, you can give us a call at 855-334-4245. You can email us at info@hailtrace.com and check out our website at www.hailtrace.com, where we have more information about the products that we offer with bios about all of us. So yeah, reach out if you guys need any more information or any assistance with using our products. And I am meteorologist Heather Kay. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday.